Welcome to Cruise Bright. Today we're taking an in-depth look at the Celebrity Summit's inside cabin, the cheapest room on one of Celebrity's oldest ships, and what turned out to be a little gem on the seas. Stick around to find out why. The Celebrity Summit is one of Celebrity's oldest and smallest ships. Part of their Millennium class, a four-vessel fleet that was launched all the way back in 2000, the Summit first set sail in 2001. In 2019, Celebrity set out to modernize their entire fleet of ships to bring them more in line with the very contemporary aesthetic of their newer Edge class. Calling the $500 million initiative the Celebrity Revolution, Celebrity called it a luxe modern makeover, and that's pretty much what it is. They wanted these ships to look and feel new, and honestly, they succeeded. We'll take an in-depth look at the ship as well as our itinerary for this sailing in future videos, but today we're exploring the cheapest room on the ship, the interior cabin. Welcome to room 9063, located on deck 9 forward. When all the rooms on the ship were renovated, Celebrity wanted to give them the feel of a high-end boutique hotel, and they succeeded. Although I've cruised extensively, this was my first time staying in an interior cabin, and honestly, I now feel like I'm spoiled. I can't imagine a lot of interior rooms can live up to this. The room is light, bright, and feels oddly spacious for only 170 square feet. The bed and pillows were fantastic, and I slept very, very well. The bedside tables have decent space on top for a phone or glasses, and a good amount of storage. The Revolution brought the addition of multiple plugs and USB ports on both sides of the bed, which is very, very welcome. The plugs were built into the sides of bedside lamps, and this is such an easy fix. I honestly don't understand why more cruise lines and hotels don't update their rooms to include this. In the interior cabin, Celebrity opted for an oversized chair, which works surprisingly well in the space. It's deep and comfortable to sit in, and I made use of it as a workspace in addition to the desk. The small side table was a nice touch, coming in especially handy when working on my laptop. The desk/vanity is small but very functional. The desk easily held 2 laptops, and we were able to use it as a workspace and a laptop and camera charging station. Below the desk are 2 outlets, a 110-volt US style and a 220-volt European style, and we brought along an adapter to make use of it. The open space above the mini fridge and the drawers really made the area feel bigger than it is. It's things feeling bigger than they are that really kept the cabin from ever feeling claustrophobic. Storage was another area where the room shined. It felt more than ample for such a small space. The far closet held coats, backpacks, and shoes, and the other closet held our hanging clothes, while extra shelves provided additional storage. There wasn't a whole lot of room for suitcases, but we easily stored those under the bed given the good clearance. Next to the closet, there's a set of drawers with ample space for storing clothes and other items. On top of the drawers, snacks and water are available for an upcharge. Above that is this interesting and useful glass cabinet that provides extra storage space but helps to give the room an open and airy feel. I used it to store some items I wanted to keep out of the way but also keep in my line of view so I didn't forget them when I left the room, like my camera, for example. In this cabinet, there's also a safe which can fit your passport but definitely not your laptop. Rounding things off in this area is a mini fridge with alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks for purchase at the high prices you'd expect. So overall, there's a lot of modern-looking functionality in a tiny space. The bathroom is small but very functional with a beautiful modern design. The sink area is pretty tiny, but we felt overall the space was ample and there was enough storage between the shelves on the side of the mirror and the lower shelf. There's also a hairdryer provided. The shower is a little narrow side to side, but well appointed, and the water pressure was fantastic, so no complaints there. Overall, for 2 adults, it was a very comfortable cabin, and I can imagine if you needed to squeeze in a third person, it would be a bit cramped, but probably doable and remain for the most part comfortable. There are some cabins that have bunks that drop down from the top of the ceiling, so families are covered as well, and the room is advertised to fit up to 4 people. But in 170 square feet, that could be a bit of a squeeze. Before embarkation, we had some concerns about noise since we were right below the solarium on deck 10. But we needn't have worried because aside from the sounds of a few scraping deck chairs, the room was incredibly quiet. Being towards the front of the ship, the hallway never got loud either, at least on our deck. While we were a distance from the main buffet, which sits at the aft of the ship, we were very close to the spa cafe, which sits within the solarium on deck 10. When we got up in the morning, we went up one flight of stairs and right into the solarium, which was a relaxed and quiet space, especially in the mornings. The solarium on Celebrity ships are always some of my favorite spots. It was especially nice since this was an Alaska sailing and the open decks were windy and cold. So it was really a joy to sit in the coziness of the solarium while watching the beautiful Alaska scenery go by. As you can see, I really have nothing bad to say about the room. It was wonderful all around, and it may have spoiled all the other interior cabins for me. We'll have to see. In a perfect world, it would have been wonderful to have booked a balcony cabin, since the rule of thumb for Alaska sailings is always get a balcony cabin. But this time around, we booked at the last minute, and this was the only room type available. We were also sticking to a budget, and booking as close in as we did, this was the only room available within our budget. We'll discuss this a whole lot more in a future video. If you are looking to stay in an interior cabin, this is about as good as the option you'll find. It's also significantly cheaper than every other cabin type on the ship, sometimes by orders of magnitude. As far as value for dollar goes, you'd be hard-pressed to beat it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more in-depth cruise reviews, ship and cabin tours, and a whole lot more. We'll see you next time.